there, BSM fam. Welcome to Walking in the Word. Now, listen, I know what you're thinking. This set looks a little different, doesn't it? Yes, it does. You're absolutely right. And here's why. It's because we have got a special treat for you. This is Walking in the Word podcast edition. And this podcast is called Let's Go. Why is it called Let's Go? Because that's exactly what we all need to do. We've got to go. Go where? We've got first to go and reconnect. That is, reconnect to the source of our joy, the source of our strength, the source of our love, our confidence. We've got to reconnect. And then we get to restore everything that we've lost. We get to restore it. And then we're going to recharge, family. Recharge, build ourselves back up, fuel ourselves with faith so that we can re-engage. That's get out there, disciple, minister, do exactly what God has called us to do. So let's go. Let's actually go. Let me introduce you to our guests. We've got some really, really special guests here today, and I am super excited. I am stoked about who I have here. We've got April Hill, entrepreneur extraordinaire, the woman who wears many, many hats. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. April?
Well, hello. I am happy
Wait,
to
wait,
be on
not the
this
podcast voice. Did you hear the podcast voice? The hello,
yes, voice.
hello.
No, so I am April Hill. I am a full-time makeup artist, permanent makeup artist. I work with women who have cancer, and making them wigs and doing things like that. So I'm under the umbrella of beauty and just helping women feel and look their best.
All right. Amen. Welcome, April. Go ahead and input the AI generated applause right there for April. Good job, good job, good job. We also have Angie signing. Angie, listen, this woman is awesome. Now, she's usually behind the scenes, behind the cameras, but today she's in front of the camera. Angie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody. I am a full-time videographer. I also do many other things in the production world. Audio. I do stuff for my church. I do stuff at my nonprofit organization. Like to travel, like to do missions. Yeah, so I'm usually behind the camera.
Getting everybody out of their comfort zone
Mhm.
today. We are awesome. Please input the AI generated applause for Ange as well. All right. So, ladies, we have a relatively sensitive but powerful topic to talk about today. We actually want to talk about self love, and that is how the love of self ends up playing out in everything that we do. How much we love ourselves ends up playing out and how we look, how we dress, where we go, the relationships that we're in, etc. And this topic actually came to mind with a conversation that I had with Miss April over there, because one day she was sharing with me something that she had heard on a podcast, and so this is going to be an interesting topic. Before I ask April to go ahead and share that information, let me just ask this question to both of you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love yourself? And this is real talk, love yourself. Not, the fake answer because we're, where cameras are around us right now, but real talk. When you think about you, when you look in the mirror, when you reflect on conversations that you've had, decisions that you've made in life, all of that stuff, when you are really looking at you, let's get a little vulnerable here. How much on a scale of 1 to 10 do you really love yourself?
So I'd give myself a good 8.
Okay.
Um, Simply because this year in particular, I've been working on myself a lot,
Mhm.
with just understanding what self-love looks like.
Mhm.
I've been intentional about pouring more into myself, from meditating more, trying to exercise more, eat healthier. I've been doing a lot of solo dating. I'm a
Mhm.
single woman, so I've been spending a lot of time with myself and getting to know me better. Like, what do I like? What do I enjoy doing? So I think with me just intentionally working on myself is why I would say an 8. I still sometimes have to remind myself of my self-worth. But I'm proud of the journey that I'm on and the woman that I'm becoming.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. That's
Nice.
good. Yeah.
I think I'd give myself a 7, and I thought that was pretty good. So 8, nicely done. Um, I grew up always knowing I was loved, always being supported, whether I was understood or not. 'Cause I'm different than the rest of my family and who isn't, right? But so I always knew that I was loved. I always was supported, whether um, my dad understood my decision to go to Bible school instead of college or whatever. But it was still like, okay, here you go, you can do it. Um, and so I think that always turned over to be knowing that I was loved by my earthly father. And so it was easy for me to know that I was loved by my heavenly father. He was a good example of what a heavenly father, how he would love. And we would, when I was a kid, every day on our way to school, we would go through confessions. I am the head and not the tail. I'm
Oh, that's
above and not
awesome.
beneath. I'm,
Wow, that's awesome.
so it still holds true to today, and I think it helps me, um, yeah, know that I'm good and I can do whatever the Lord wants me to do,
Mm-hmm.
and to just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I'm wondering if I can skip myself and go to the next question, or will you require me to answer that question,
It's only fair.
Pretty obvious.
Okay. um. Okay. So this is a day-to-day thing, being intentional about it, but I am probably, if I'm going to answer honestly, I'm going to give myself a 7 3/4, and that's today. Um, I think just like you, I was very loved by my family. My mother particularly told me how important I was and how valued I was, and all of that. And I think that my what I saw in the mirror was a little bit different than what I was hearing.
Mm,
And so I think that was birthed out of a self-esteem issue. So I never really liked my appearance. And if I call these things out now, you'll look, but my hands were always huge. Don't look. Good job not looking at the hands, ladies. Good job. Appreciate it. Yep, keep it right here. Keep it right here. I thought my neck was long. And so I was like kind of ashamed of my physical appearance for a long time. And I'm not sure where that came from, because it certainly didn't come from home. And so maybe it's, being teased by kids. We moved around a lot and having to make new friends a lot. So I was bullied.
mm,
Insert the AI I don't know, boo sound right now. Yeah. So I think all of that impacted how I saw myself as I was getting older. And then obviously once I had a relationship, with God, and I started really feeding myself his word, and really knowing and learning who I am in him, then that shot up. So if I started at a 1 or a 2, that shot straight up to a 7. It's a 7 3/4 right now, close to that 8, April. Um, because I too am still working on me, and not physical appearance, just in terms of where I sit with my purpose, and feeling confident in who God has called me to be, ministry wise, right? So that's something I'm still working on, but I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, little fist bump,
yeah.
fist bump,
Good, good.
fist bump, fist bump. All right, good job. All right, so how we love ourselves, how much we love ourselves, does play out in our life. I mean, it's evident, and we see it, and that's really what struck me, April, when you shared that story with me about that podcast that you share. Why don't you share that with all of us today?
Yeah. So I was just scrolling on the internet. You know how we're constantly seeing stuff on the internet. And it was a podcast where a man and a woman were, talking, conversing. And he asked her, would she rather have fake love with assets or real love and a liability? And she immediately said, fake love. She said, I'm not in the business for struggle love. A man has to come to me with everything and I'm not helping pay any bills. I want to be taken care of. And, I'm listening to it and I was like, wow. And even someone in the back also agreed. Another woman also agreed and was like, yeah, I'm going to go with the fake love. And it just struck a nerve in me, and just realizing how much the world has shifted,
Mm,
and
yeah.
how women, now they're chasing the image,
Yeah.
and it's obviously they don't have any self love if you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good. That's good. And so that it raised an eyebrow,
Mm-hmm.
but it also pulled at my heartstrings because I watched it. As a matter of fact, I rewatched it and I said, wow, fake love. So i- she prefers to be in a relationship where the gentleman is, or husband, if she marries him. As a matter of fact, she was married, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where her husband, if he doesn't love her genuinely and authentically,
Mm-hmm.
she's fine
Mm-hmm.
as long as he is providing for
Mm-hmm.
her. And because that, just like you said, she's chasing an image.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ange, what's really, interesting about that is that if you listen to that podcast even further, it's not like I'm just saying this. She was really, really serious and she meant it. And she says, no, what I have is worth you providing for me. Not what I have is worth you loving me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I have is worth you providing for me.
Mhm.
And if you listen to her, it sounded like, there's like, I'm the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And in my mind, I'm saying, that's pain
Mhm.
masquerading as pride
Yeah.
Yep.
and confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really pain.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because it dawned on me that I don't know that she knows what real love and true love is.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I thought when first thinking about this whole subject,
Yeah.
it was when asked, would you rather have faithfulness
Right.
and struggle,
Mhm.
or, real love and struggle, or fake love or unfaithfulness and not struggle? It was obvious to me. But I'm single also, never been married. I've had one serious relationship and that's it. And um so it was kind of a joke almost to me. It was like it's a non-negotiable.
Right.
I haven't waited this long for fake,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know. Um
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
why would yeah, I mean, cuz anybody could go out and just find somebody,
Body.
you
Yeah.
know. But when I think of marriage and a relationship, I think of a partnership,
Right.
um and that's what I want. I mean, I know any relationship is hard. Just
Right.
just regular friendship is
Yeah.
difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But especially a marriage, obviously there's struggle there.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'm a people person, so I would much rather struggle with someone else by my side
Mm-hmm.
than to do it all alone.
Mhm.
How prevalent do you think this is? How, is it this young lady that we see on this podcast who feels that way? You've had a couple of friends and experiences that you mentioned, but how widespread do you think this thinking is?
It's more common now. I think social media plays a major part
Yeah.
in why it's so prevalent. Because we're living in a world now where you're constantly comparing yourselves to others. So, you're scrolling on social media, you're seeing women live this luxurious lifestyle and
Right.
And that's all you see.
that's all you see.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
you're like, I want that.
Right.
And so even if that means I'm in a fake relationship dealing with someone that I truly don't even like, probably, or definitely don't love,
Yeah.
but just to have this image,
Yeah.
just to say, oh, look, this is where we went, look where we're traveling to.
Right.
It's just a facade,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, when the camera's off and
Right.
you're behind closed doors, how do you really
How you
feel?
really feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then what is it within the women that has them at I've got to have that? Why do you feel like you need to chase the image?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we feel like we really need to put on that kind of a facade?
It's like it's like the world to me has conformed for us to look like we have it all together.
Mm.
And that's a part of looking the part, right?
Mhm.
So if you're married, then you want to look the part. Like these are things we do. Look,
Right.
this is what we have.
Right.
It's a comparison game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of women don't really understand what it means to have self-love. I know once upon a time I didn't know what that meant.
Right.
Like, oh, you don't love yourself. I'm like, of course I love myself.
Right.
And so,
Right.
like that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm wonderful. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm amazing.
But
That's right.
I had to really write that down. Like, what does that actually mean?
Right.
Because I have settled in relationships
Mhm.
where I look back and I was like, there was no way I should have been involved with this person. I've been in a relationship where I was taken care of. All the bills were paid.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was unhappy and I felt lonely in that relationship.
Right.
And, as a professional makeup artist, I work with women all the time. And I can remember kind of telling them my situation of being unhappy in this relationship. And I had one particular client say to me, girl, you better not leave him. He pay all the bills. What you gonna do?
Right.
And I'm like, so you're telling me to stay with this man even though I'm unhappy?
Right.
She's like, well, you just do you, but don't leave.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so you have friends encouraging other women to stay in these situations.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's like we're chasing after something that we think is missing, but that we can find externally.
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's missing is it's internal.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we shouldn't even really be talking about love unless we know what true love really is. And many of us learn love doing this. Right? Or binge watching, I don't know, what is it, Real Love or something on what's Netflix? What are the reality shows now that are out there? I forgot. There's so many.
Yeah.
Bachelor, Bachelorette, Senior, or the Golden
I
Bachelor.
think,
What is it?
isn't there like a Bachelor 2 or something? Junior?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, they do Junior. Yeah. But it's like there's something missing, and we think we can find it externally, and the it that will complete us and fulfill us is internal. Let me ask you this question: if you were in possession of a very rare, very priceless, one of a kind, does not exist anywhere else, piece of art that no one else has, it's unique, it's masterfully made by the best well-known artists in the entire universe, and you alone have it, you alone own it, what would you do with it? How would you handle it?
I would protect it. Um, Something as unique as what you speak of needs to be protected. And it needs to, for me, I would even take it as far as not even allowing certain people to see it. Allowing certain people to come in that space because unless they understand its worth
Yeah.
and they in the value.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like you're talking about me.
There you go.
No, but
Good.
it correlates to your self-love. When we're saying that, I'm thinking to myself like, that's how I should care about myself. With honoring yourself and protecting yourself and understanding your value. And once you get to knowing who you truly are, you won't allow yourself around certain people, or you know what I mean. You will also be in correct alignment with who you should be around and things like that. And so that's the same as this unique piece of art that has to be protected
Mm-hmm.
and around only people that value it and see it
Mm-hmm.
the way I do.
And
I think in thinking of that, I'm gonna kind of stray from the art, but um, yeah, because I would protect it also, but I would want to share it. Like I wouldn't want to be,
interesting.
but like you said, with only certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a giver. It's one of my characteristics. So I want other people to enjoy it with me,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I can enjoy something by myself, and I do
Mm-hmm.
very often,
Mm-hmm.
but I like there's something about being able to share something with someone else, at least one other person.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you think of kind of what you said, April, if you see this big beautiful house with it's just ornate and it's just like just had a paint job maybe, or the landscaping is gorgeous, and then on one side you have another, maybe it's a mansion, and it has all this land or whatever.
Mhm.
And then on the other side, you look like you're in the ghetto or it's all trashy. And, it takes that one place will take down the allure, the beauty of the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like what you said about you only want like certain people to be able to be around me, if we're talking about me.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, cuz we want to keep up this image, we want to keep up who God made me to be,
Mm-hmm.
but yet a lot of times I think we think the best person in the group will kind of bring up the quality of the group, and most of the time it's the opposite. Like bad company corrupts good morals. It always happens like that. I wish it was the opposite, but it's not.
So let me read this to you. For you formed my innermost parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. You formed my innermost parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I'll give thanks and praise to you, for I am fearfully and I'm wonderfully made by you. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being formed in secret, and intricately and skillfully formed, as if embroidered with many colors in the depths of the earth. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance. In your book they were all written, the days that were appointed to me. How precious are your thoughts of me, O God. The sum of them all I cannot count. That's Psalm 139, verses 13 through 18. That psalm describes exactly what you both said. A unique masterpiece, one of a kind, intricately woven.
Mm-hmm.
In our minds, we operate as God just waved his wand and then created all these people. No, he took his time with you, April. He took his time with you, Angie. All of the idiosyncrasies, all of that, so intimately created and crafted. There is not another one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are that masterpiece, that piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
And so what did you say you would do with yours?
Honor it, protect it,
Yeah.
only bring people around it that understand its worth and its value.
Yes.
Just all those good things. Because it's important. Like I said, once you realize it and just kind of going back to self, that means you're in alignment,
Mm.
And I think once you're in alignment, that's when you start attracting people that understand your value and see your worth. And I think it's important that we're having this moment, right? Because I'm constantly scrolling on the internet looking at things, and so many people have podcasts now, right? Everyone has something to say.
Everybody got something to
You
say.
know what I mean?
Everybody's got a perspective.
But it's like we need more of these talks, more of this type of real talk, and making sure we know what self-love looks like, and doing that self-evaluation, and just I think women need to work more on themselves and not be afraid to be alone and really tap into who they are.
I think it took me a long, long time to be okay with just being with me. I moved down here. I'm from the north, and I moved down to North Carolina, and so I was alone. I didn't have any family here. I didn't have that many friends, and so it was good. It was like you could just sit there. Okay, God, I can do this because He has.
Yeah.
He's made us each beautiful,
Yeah.
and yeah, I wanna use all the giftings and the talents that He's given me, and not hide them away,
Yeah.
and share them with
And
others.
share it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, ladies. This discussion, this particular topic is really important to talk about, and others really need to hear this. And so, what we're going to do is, because we're running out of time, let's pick it up next time. So be sure to tune in next time as we continue part 2 of this podcast. We love you, family. And as always, be encouraged, be inspired, be blessed.